rather than your experience of your life. Tell me more about what you're feeling these days. Wake up in the morning and you think of your life and you think of your day. What is it like?
Well, if I wake up and on that day I gotta go to work and then I gotta go training and all that, then it's like okay, yeah, it's okay. But I'm always, hoping for, oh, I wish I meet like, like deep, insightful, philosophical people, and most of the days are not like this. So it's as if
Okay, I'm gonna try again because you're
yeah,
giving me descriptions. I don't want you with subtitles. I just want you. You wake up in the morning and you think about your life, and what do you feel?
hmm. Well, I feel happy that I'm not back in the home that I grew in, with my dad. That is that is a big relief. But then it's kind of I feel like I haven't built up my own home, and it feels
That's not
horrible.
a that's I feel like I haven't built up my own home. That's not a feeling.
Hmm.
That's again you're describing.
Yeah. Hmm.
You're giving me intellectual snippets and trying to in your mind pass them off as life experiences, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you think about your life over the past few years and looking forward to the next few years, what do you feel?
I feel I feel like a loser, like I haven't achieved anything.
Those are thoughts,
Yeah.
and that's closer. But what do you feel? Those are like I'm a loser is a thought. I haven't achieved anything is a thought. What is the feeling or
Uh,
feelings?
yeah. Yeah. Mm, uh, impotence. Impotent, I feel.
That's closer. That's closer. That's still a description.
Right. Right. Right.
That's a conclusion. I'm impotent. I'm loser. I haven't achieved anything. These are intellectual conclusions. What's the underlying emotions?
Well, I think I have never done this kind of a work in my life.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
Don't call it. Nobody
yeah.
calls this show for something they can get anywhere else, right?
Of course, of course, of course. That's
Okay.
what we're here for.
Now you can
Uh,
try. I don't know. If you're sitting, just try deep breath, physical relaxation, and what's going on in your body, what's going on in your stomach, what's going on in your heart, what's going on in your chest. What are your feelings? Let's just try right now.
well, I feel agitated. My heart is pumping quite fast. Uh, my, I feel, do you say butterflies in your stomach?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So you feel but now butterflies are both anxiety and excitement, right?
right, right, right. I feel also excited.
Right. Okay, so we've got something going on now that you're like, you see a crack in the door, you see a hole in the prison, right? But
I feel I'm breaking free.
yeah, okay, okay. But free from what? What is the sadness if this conversation never happens?
Yeah.
And if you continue to dream and read books, but never do anything to achieve what you want, where do you end up? Where does your heart end up? Where do your emotions end up?
I, I don't know. I feel like I have nothing to live for. Like uh, I haven't, as if I say sorry, as if I haven't done enough. With the life that I have, and it feels horrible because uh, I'm I feel I'm breaking free, maybe little by little, but these thoughts they feel horrible because it's like an anchor in. Well, I'm describing again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. You caught yourself there. I mean, I feel this desperation, like I want to just jump down your throat with a flashlight and rummage around. But everyone is the gatekeeper of their own heart. You can't get in there except through words and questions. There is no key to open the heart of another except curiosity. So you said it feels horrible. This sense of wasting time, of wasting your life, that it feels horrible. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That,
So what is the horrible feeling? What is, again, I know using words to describe feelings always leads us to this description thing, but there are ways through it. So what is the feeling that is horrible? Horrible is feels how? Is it sadness? Is it anger? Is it despair? Is it frustration? Is it rage? Is it hopelessness? Is it what is the underlying, what is the sewage under the city, right? What are the tunnels under the city? What is the feeling under the words?
well, for moments, it's anger. For some other moments, it is despair. Uh, I don't know if it is valid to say like I just don't want to feel and be like my dad. Just want to be,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and you know what? That is a great, great feeling. If you dislike your dad and you don't want to be like him, right?
yeah.
But right now, you kind of are, I would argue, in a way, because you saying that your parents did not help you bring your dreams to life,
Mm. Hmm.
right? And this is such a fundamental job for a parent, to bring dreams to life, to bring the imagination into reality. My daughter says, I want to draw a picture of a butterfly. We sit down and we draw a picture of a butterfly. Is it because the world needs more doodles from a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old? Absolutely not. What the world needs of is more of people who know how to translate dreams into reality. Right? There's a great line from a Peter Gabriel song. It says, all of the buildings and all of the cars were once just a dream in somebody's head. And that's true. Everything that is around us, everything that inhabits. I'm looking at a camera. I'm talking to a microphone and looking at a tablet. This is all was a dream in somebody's head. We are surrounded by concrete dreams, dreams that people have coughed up into the world and made real. Everything around us was once a fantasy, became a dream, became an ambition, became a goal, became a reality. We live in the activated dreams of the dead. Our language, our books, our culture, our art, our history, everything that we are is the dreams brought to life and brought into the world by the dead. We live in the frozen fantasies of corpses. And so bringing what is in the mind into the world is the essential task of parents, right? I had a dream about a conversation with the world, about philosophy, about truth, about self-knowledge, about achievement. And that dream, having come to life, is now spreading through the world like a virus that heals.
It's true.
So your parents may have mocked your dreams, may have put them down, may have ignored them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that causes you to be, it causes you to be like an extra with no lines in the movie of the world. It causes you to be not like someone at the front of the painting, But somebody who's across the river in the back of the painting, where there's no facial features even. They're just a little crowd dropped in, little drops of paint in the back to represent the crowd. You are the faceless person in the backdrop. You are an extra in the story of the species. And this is the despair that you're feeling, I would argue, because you don't know how to make your dreams come real. So you read books rather than act in the world, right?
Yeah.
And everything that your father did and everything that your father counseled and everything that your father yelled at and ignored and brutalized, everything is part of what made him a negative influence in the world, right? My mother said to me about 10,000 times when I was a child, "Don't think." Right? She would give me some confusing instructions. And I'd be afraid to ask her for clarification because she'd get angry. So I'd go and do what I thought she wanted me to do. And then she would get angry at what I did, and I'd say, "But I thought you," and she'd say, "Don't think." Don't think. Oh, I listened to that. So the biggest bitch I know commands me not to think. So what should I do? Right? What should I do if the nastiest person in the world that I know is telling me what to think? What should I do? What should I do, Fernando?
You should not listen to your mom.
No, I listened to my mom because she is a massive signal in life. She was my greatest teacher in so many ways. What should I do when my mother tells me to not think? I should listen to her.
And not think?
I should think.
Right, that's, yeah.
I should think.
Yeah.
I should think and think and think. Do the opposite of what evil commands, and you will at least be in the vicinity of the good, right?
Right.
Do the opposite of the commandments of evil, and you will be at least in the vicinity of the good, right?
Yeah.
And your father said, don't achieve your dreams. Don't bring your dreams to life. You know, we all have the Frankensteins of potential and greatness in our head, and we are barred from the electricity that will bring them to life. So your father said, your dreams are meaningless, your dreams are unimportant, your dreams are bad, your dreams are ridiculous. So what should you do? Don't dream, don't achieve, said your father and your mother.
I should do exactly the opposite.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
If you get experienced enough, you can see beauty in the negatives of the final picture. This is a metaphor. It doesn't work as well because we all have digital cameras. But of course, back in the past, they used to take pictures. They used to be negatives, and then you'd produce. And a really experienced photographer could look at the negatives and know which one was the best and brightest and most colorful and the right one. But it was the opposite picture. Well, those of us who grew up with negative parents, we must learn to look at those negatives and do the opposite. Right? My mom had don't think as a value, and she was horrible. Still is, I'm sure. And so if the horrible person says don't think, what does the wise person do? Think. Because I know where the opposite leads. And so, but to do that, you have to get pretty fucking angry. This is my PSA about PFA. You need to get angry enough to do the opposite, to recoil from the pain of abuse. You know, everyone, if your family is a fire, if your family is a furnace that melts and burns and destroys, you're born with your hand in the fire. And then most of society says that you should just work, leave your hand in the fire, work to control the pain, learn to forgive the fire. Fuck that. It's not what I tell my daughter. If I'm standing on her foot, I don't say, I'm just going to keep standing here. You got to just make friends with the pain. It's not real pain. It's just made up anyway. Forgive me, but without me moving. Nah. What do you do when you put your hand in a flame?
You take it away right away.
Yow! That really hurts.
Right.
The pain is there to get you to do the opposite of putting your hand in the flame, but just take your hand out of the flame, right?
Yeah.
And if you grow up with people who cause you pain, you want your soul to recoil against the wrongs that they did as your spine recoils against the pain of the fire on your hand, right? And you get angry and you pull your hand out of the fire, which is the opposite of putting it in. The opposite to the pain is the solution to the pain, right? If you are, you have this GPS thing, you're just standing there and you turn your GPS on and it doesn't know which way you're facing or where you have to walk a little bit and then, right? So I do this, right? If I'm walking with my GPS, I was going to meet a friend of mine last week for his birthday. So last week, this week, yeah, for his birthday. And I'm walking with my daughter and I'm like, hang on, wait for the GPS to tell me which way I'm supposed to go, right? And I was walking the wrong way. So what do? I turn around. Turn around, right? You turn around, that's what you do. You do the opposite once you get your bearings. But that requires that you know that you have to do the opposite. And doing the opposite of those who harmed you is the key to salvation, but it requires getting angry at the people who harmed you. It requires activating your potential for change. The sole epigenetics of philosophical recoil from the burn of evil. You need to activate that, and anger is the key to activating that. Anger, and to feel anger, you need to feel pain, which is why I asked you, what is the underlying feeling? The underlying feeling is pain. With the pain comes the anger, right? If you're napping and I hold a lighter under one of your fingers, what's your first feeling going to be?
I'm going to take my finger off.
That's your action. What's your first feeling going to be? Sensation.
It's going to feel hot. It's going to feel pain.
You're going to feel pain.
Yeah.
And then you before you even wake up, your spine is going to jerk your hand away before the pain even hits your brain, right? And then you wake up and you see me standing there with a lighter that I just had under your finger. And what are you then going to feel?
Anger.
Exactly. Pain followed by anger. Now, the first defense of the evildoers is to say that you felt no pain. Nothing happened, nothing bad happened. You felt no pain. If that doesn't work, if you feel your pain, they will say that the pain is your fault, that you misinterpreted, that you misunderstood. If you get through that, the third line of defense is to say that maybe there was wrong, but your pain is now because you are holding on to the past. You are refusing to let go of the past. You must forgive. Forgive, forgive, forgive. And then they say that the pain, yeah, okay, it was legitimate. Yeah, maybe some bad things happen, but it's your job now to forgive, right? And if that doesn't work, then they will get enraged at you because they're basically hitting you and hitting you and hitting you until you say the right things. Like you're some broken compliance robot with the wires crossed, and they're such idiots about robots. All they can do is thump it until it says the right thing. So they first deny your pain. And then they say it was your fault. And then they may admit some responsibility, but they say that the pain now is your job to get rid of it through forgiveness. Right? And then, if you get angry, which is finally, the pain has connected with you and the lighter. And the lighter was under your finger. And you basically say, you asshole, you just burned my hand. And then when you stand with your anger at the wrongdoers who harmed you, that is the moment where you come into existence. You are in a state of pre-existence, in my opinion. You come into existence if you've had people who've wronged you considerably, when you connect with the anger, because the anger propels you in the opposite direction. Right?
Yeah.
And if you're not being propelled in the opposite direction, you're being sucked by the gravity well of history into the wrong direction, right?
True. That's true.
And this is why I talk about the virtue and beauty of anger. It is life-saving. It is life-creating. So what did your father do to you, or your mother, or both, that hurt your capacity to manifest your soul in the world, to achieve in the world the dreams that we all want to live in?
So what happened in my childhood, Steph, you're asking?
No, I asked what your parents did. Now you changed it to your childhood. Of course, it was your childhood, but I asked what your parents did.
Yeah. Well, on the one side, my dad and his family crushing me down, telling me that that I'm retarded, even sometimes, that I have to be, obeying to every command, and when I put my needs forward, I can't really meet them because they are inconvenient, it seems. And for my mom, she should have protected me, to me and my sister, and she allowed all this shit to happen. And when you were talking about the pain and all that, I started to feel this anger again, this wrath towards them, both, especially my dad, for doing me all this.
Right. And I would argue that through that anger, you can break through the ice of the past to the spring of your own possibilities, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Have you talked to your parents about this?
Well, I have tried. Well, I did with my mom, not to the extent that I'm doing it with you. I thought that I could do it, like in person when I traveled there. But to my dad, I think I tried a couple of months ago, and he just, like first lame excuses, and then he took off. He said, like, "Oh, I got things to do," and he just fucking took off.
Yeah, he's too busy to help his son deal with the past and achieve things in his life, right?
And I felt like I want to go there. I want to be standing in front of him and tell him everything that I feel, like I did in the past, but this time differently, as an adult, making him responsible, making them responsible.
Right. Well, I would suggest that would be a useful conversation to have. Because the dreams trapped in the cage of your skull die if they can't go free and roam the world and make the world in the image of your heart's desire, right? The caged ghosts of dreams die in the prisons of our skull. Dreams must be acted on, or they lay waste to one's life. They're like demons you have to cast out of yourself to go build real things in the world.
That's true. That's so true.
They reshape the world or they lay waste to you, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We bring our dreams to life or we die. There's little else to life. Imagine how the world would be. Imagine how the world would look, Fernando, if the barrier between thought and execution, between dream and reality, was smashed, and the full fertility and creativity of 6 billion people poured the flowers, the tangible flowers of rank imagination upon the horrors of the world. Imagine. Be one of those people, because when we see people achieving their dreams, it encourages us and reminds us that it's possible. And you can do that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I want to do that. I wanna be a light in the world. I don't wanna be another fading candle, just like my parents. I wanna be part of that. I wanna build something positive to me and the world. That's what I wanna do. But I cannot do it if I don't break free from all this.